Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to coverage of the next round for the excitement that is Thursday night's race day coverage. We welcome you again to the Monster Mile Dover Motor Speedway, the next stop of the Extreme Graphics Next Gen Series, sanctioned by No Limit Racing. We're going to go 200 laps, 200 miles around, of course, the mile track that is Dover Motor Speedway. Welcome to coverage of iRacing on race day. I am Wesley Outland, joined as always by Steve Tucker, not only color analyst but also producer director. And I'll tell you what, Steve, we're going from road racing action at Watkins Glen last week to now the mile. That is Miles the Munster Mile. How many cars will he chomp up tonight? That's the question. Or will it be a fun one?
I think it's going to be a great race, man. Dover is one of my favorite tracks. Concrete jungle. Man, this place is hard. It's fast. It's all kinds of things. And right now, Hank Kasten going to lead us off here. 200 laps, concrete track. Going to be a tough, grueling one right here, but cannot wait to get this thing underway.
Yeah, going to be a fun one for sure as the field is rolling off of the pit lane. Get the lineup here really quickly, as it looks like it will be the 42. Hank Kasten on the pole. Mario Miranda making up the outside of row number 1. Brandon Fronapple, Dalton Tucker will make up row number 2. Brian Wertz and Matt Lovett make up row 3. Ryan Dingler, Noah Rainwater make up row 4. Sean Lottison and Chris Mush Jr. rounded out the top 10. Got some new names out here on the series as well that we'll be mentioning throughout the night too. And while that goes into the top 10, we'll mention Matt Cherry, Robert Kahn, Josh Fox, Isaac Mock, Dakota Long, top 15. Brandon Ishikanen, followed by Casey Knight and Chris Taylor. Brandon Barrier and Daniel Half, the top 20. And you got the rest of the lineup from there of the, 42 cars, I believe we got, Steve.
Big field today. Yeah, it's a big one for sure. Yellow light still on the pace car, so we have time to go through the rest of the field, I guess. Top 20, Daniel Half. There he is right there. Let's get some good angles of this good-looking car. There it is. Christopher Tate, Austin Cooper, Michael Wolf, Brian Rosie, Brandon Cooper, Brandon Munger, Anthony Hutchinson, Joel Hamilton, and Forrest Hamilton Jr. Your 20th through 30th. Travis Daly, Christian Light, Kyle Hall, Eliza Indriani in 34th. Morgan Sterling, Andrew Duffield, Mark Martinek, Billy Smith rounding out that 40th spot. Matthew Correa rounding up the field. So big field today, Wesley, for a mile track. This is going to be pretty interesting and pretty hardcore very quick here.
Yeah, for sure. I know that there was an entry list of 42 drivers, so 40 answers the bell, makes the grade to come to the green here in just a moment. And obviously this track measured as exactly 1 mile in distance on the concrete jungle. That is the Dover Motor Speedway. It'll be 200 laps, 200 miles. By the way, I want to say thanks to also all the other sponsors, IMB Racewear, Powder Coat Plus, obviously Butt Kicker, and so many others, that we appreciate them, as well as race day. Pace car is onto the pit lane, and it is race day here at Dover. Here they come, working off of turn number 4, ready for that green flag to fly. Thanks for those that are watching. Strap in. We're ready at Dover for 200 laps, and it's a good start. Send them off into turn number 1 and 2. Kasten with the second place man now battling with Tucker. And of course, it's now the driver Miranda getting the opening lap as they work the back stretch behind the 2 pedestrian bridges. Mario Miranda working his way. Here he comes, Steve, off turn 4, 199 to go at Dover.
And just like that, fast laps around this track, Wesley. This should go pretty quick, but again, keep in mind, Dover is known for some long green flag runs and also tire wear. That'll be a huge thing to consider today. This track, the concrete, eats these tires, so hold on to that, conserve the rubber, and you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching all of that tonight as well throughout this race. As currently we work our way into the opening start of things here at Dover Motor Speedway. It's Miranda the leader, Kasten second, Tucker and Fronapple. And right now everybody just kind of gets in line. There's not any aggressive moves being made, any rush or push aggressively to try to get to the front. Hold your line, stay in your position, knock off laps. That's the smart thing to do here in the early going at Dover, as we're already working lap 3, Steve.
And you're right. I mean, right now on long runs, we're seeing the outside lane kind of work right here, the 53 up high, but you'll see that more on long runs. They're going to start diamonding these corners quite a bit. And diamonding is just a funny word for basically like a double apex, right? You kind of start up high, you come down low a little bit, and it really helps that car. Oh, man, that 50, who was that? The 14?
That's Kahn, Robert Kahn, into the wall in the safer barrier, the Mobile One machine. His Chevrolet slams the wall. He loses a couple of spots, but he does keep going forward momentum. Now making his move back up around some more cars of Knighton, Taylor and Company. Well, that goes on. Had a scare there a moment ago as we put a handful of laps off forward.
Yeah, and right now, keep in mind, folks, this series here has no stages, so we're going to go 200 laps straight, assuming there's no caution flags. So if that is the case, I'll tell you what, pit strategy will be huge today. You know, when do you pit? Does the undercut happen? A lot can be on the line here today, a lot on the table for strategy.
Number 42, Caston. He's the man that leads the way right now. Hank Caston in car number 42. That's the driver out of Marietta, Ohio. And he is out in front. Not anymore, though. Tucker now goes to the top spot. Never thought I'd say this, but man, what a year for Tucker. And just like that, the driver is up to the top spot again here in the early going at Dover.
Yes, sir. Looks so good. Last couple of weeks, Wesley, man, he's been looking really strong, dominant performances, but just can't quite check off that W column. And right now, early on, in the lead.
So Dalton Tucker up to the top spot. Fronapple now. Fronapple into the number 2 position. That's the man, obviously, out of Warsaw, Virginia. To that second spot. Caston falling back to 3rd as they work their way around the racetrack. We got some problems. Look out. Got a couple of cars pointing in the wrong direction, but what in the hell is he doing? The 99 was driving in the wrong way, but he was down at the bottom of the apron. But this is going to have to trigger a yellow flag for the first time tonight here at Dover. Oh my, the 99 going the wrong way.
Wesley, man, have you ever?
I have, sometimes and more. The Newark, Delaware driver, that's the 99 of Forrest Hamilton Jr., the 26-year-old, and I guess he thought they were going Watkins Glen racing again or something.
I thought we were at Bowling Green for a second. I mean, that was...
Oh.
Let's take a look at this. Looks like the 6 and the... Oh, man, who was that?
That's the 9. Is that the 6? That's the Spotify number 6 machine.
Forrest Hamilton here.
Course, yeah, there you see him.
Both get together, but then goes the wrong way, Wesley?
Yeah, going the wrong way. What are you doing? It's like planes, trains, and automobiles. By the way, that's Christian Light, the Athens, Alabama driver, the Spotify number 6 machine that was also caught up in that accident. So,
here we go.
We're under yellow flag. Here's another look at it from up in the blimp. Oh, wow. Look at that. Hamilton, nowhere to go. Light got into the left rear and followed each other all the way down the racetrack. Now, here's the thing, Steve, and it's at like Darlington and tracks like here at Dover and other places where you're at the bottom of the apron of the racetrack. You're not in the racing groove. I think maybe he thought, well, these cars will bypass me. Maybe I can get back going. You know, look at how he's going backwards down the racetrack, and then all of a sudden he starts going forward. And I think, honestly, that's what he was going to try to do. And then Light got in front of him, and there's you see all that traffic. They had no other choice but to throw the yellow flag. So, yeah, your call for the first yellow of the race here.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, in that situation, iRacing will actually disqualify you for going backwards on the track. So, might have to get him into concussion protocol because not too sure what was going on there, going backwards on track. That can be super dangerous, obviously, especially with leaders coming through. So, interesting call there for the 99. Either way, to your point, first caution, lap 11.
It is Tucker, Fronapple, Caston, Lovett, and Rainwater, your top 5 here at Dover, 10 laps in. I don't see anybody pitting except for us. We'll be back with more coverage on race day from Dover in a moment.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Vegas pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Back here on race day, yellow flag is just about to be wrapped up for the first time here for the No Limit Racing Extreme Graphics Next Gen Cup Series. I believe this is round number 5 of the season, if I'm keeping count, as of course we're at Dover Motor Speedway. Thanks to all of the sponsors, of course, Powder Coat, as well as Butt Kicker, IMB Racewear, Powder Coat Plus, all the great people, sponsors that are involved in this. Also, thank you also to Downforce Audio and Events, Downforce Race Control Services, a new thing that they're giving us to let us keep up with the day-to-day operations of race events for the Next Gen Series as well. Ready for the field to come back to the Geico restart zone, and we'll get ready for a restart now with working lap 13 of 200. We're back underway here as they come to the starting box, and I like that. NLR at Dover live. We're back underway live at Dover, Steve, and on the restart, Tucker's gone again.
Yes, sir, he is. That first position gets a great jump because they can time it right. And right now, we're seeing 2 wide. Don't expect that to last long, though, but the restarts are the best time to make passes in this car. Great racing so far.
Yeah, we're watching all of this transpire as they work their way back down the front straightaway. Tucker, front apple, followed by, of course, Lovett, Wirtz, Rainwater. I got to ask you this question, Steve. Where do you think we're seeing Tucker just continue to have this wealth of momentum, man? I mean, week in, week out, whatever the track size is, the configuration, it doesn't matter. I mean, Tucker has just been the Pied Piper, if you will, dude, for this series so far.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, sometimes it just comes down to preparation, right? Practicing for the races, knowing how the car works. This car's pretty unique, right? It's not like the previous generations or even, you know, Xfinity or the trucks. It's very unique on its own. It kind of has that GT3 feel for the road guys. You know, they'll know what I mean by that. And it just has this unique kind of flavor to it. So sometimes you just kind of hit it on the head, and Dalton Tucker does that.
Round 5 here tonight at Dover. Next week we're going to Nashville for a 150-lapper. Martinsville closing out the month of May, with also Charlotte and Richmond, and then Homestead. All the next couple of races here for the next 5 or so. As right now we are in round 5 of the season this evening at Dover Motor Speedway. Amazing how fast this season's flew by, Steve, for sure. And the racing, for the most part, has been very, very exciting and fun to watch. And, you know, I'm just ready to see somebody be able to compete with Tucker. Tucker, as I said, dude, this guy, every time you see the 21 come up to the front, 9 times out of 10, that's the guy that's going to get it done. And obviously watching Front Apple and Wirtz and some other guys give him some competition here as we close in on 20 laps is really good.
Yeah, I agree completely, right? I mean, early season nerves, sometimes you have to, you know, kind of figure that out. A lot of guys who don't know each other, racing around each other, that can cause some issues, right? But right now, we're seeing, I feel like, a very stout pack. Everyone kind of is, you know, comfortable, looking pretty good.
To the turn, there's those pedestrian bridges that I mentioned hovering above the racetrack in turn number 3 and 4. Working off the corner. Here you go, actually from turn 2 to turn 3 is what I meant to say, as they come back down to the line here at the concrete jungle that is Dover Motor Speedway. And look at the banking, there you go, on board with barrier. Thank you, Steve, just kind of showing you from the gyro cam what it's like to get around this place. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's an absolute roller coaster of a track. The sense of speed here is something that I try and portray as best I can, because, you know, some tracks like Talladega, Daytona, right, you're pushing 200 miles an hour, but it doesn't feel like that because it's so big, it's so wide open, right? But at a track like this, it's just so fast and so intense that you really feel the speed as you go through these corners.
Working down that front stretch again, Tucker, Front Apple, Wirtz, Caston, Lovett now in your top 5. That's the way they sit on the racetrack. Here's the number 16 machine. That's Dingler trying to make a move on Rainwater to try to make that spot for 7th in the Hex Armor number 16 machine. Love the wrap job on that Chevrolet as he works his way off the corner, trying to close in, obviously, on Rainwater. Rainwater just kind of holding his position. And believe it or not, we're about to be 25 laps into this thing. one yellow flag so far, halting things. Since then, though, the racing's been exciting and fun, and it has been all Tucker getting around the leaders in the early going here at Dover.
So far, so good. Let's take a quick look at the back of the field just to kind of catch up on some guys. Still good racing back here. Look at this, too wide a little bit. A lot of passing going on, even though it's in the back of the field. Sometimes that can be the best racing on the track at the time, and right now we're seeing that.
Watching all these guys work their way to the back stretch here. Excitement happening there with the 28 machine up there on the top. That's Knight, Tate, and Muff there going at it as they work their way around the corner. If you'd like to know more information about No Limit Racing and the Extreme Graphics Next Gen Series, follow them online at NLRleague.com. That's NLRleague.com. And of course, Race Day at Race Day iRacing on X, if you'd like to follow us as well on Race Day. Here they come working off the corner. It's Tucker out in front apple, and while that goes on, here comes the battle now between car number 80 of Cooper as well as the 22 of Wolf. This, Steve, is in the top 20 as here they come side by side to the back straightaway.
The 80 car right now making it work on the outside lane. That's pretty impressive right there, especially early on. I know it's only 28 laps into this green flag run here, just about, but that's pretty impressive to make the move on the outside. That's a good sign for some speed there.
Watching all these guys.
Whoa, 3 wide, Wesley.
3 wide, hold on to it, barrier. 3 wide, Monkey in the middle. You were on board with him earlier showing the gyro cam, and you see how he was able to stay in line. Now he gets to the top and says, "How about it, guys? I'm getting out of your way." Oh, he's in the wall. Oh, barrier, hold on. Barrier, Cooper, Wolf, all trying to find a way to get around him here and keep off the 5 machine of Muth as well. Barrier's in the wall again in front of Cooper. All right, finally settles down here. I think he's okay. Are you okay now?
What to find out? Oh, Lordy.
Oh.
Hold on to her.
Watching all this happen. Most exciting thing so far, closing in on 30 laps into this deal here. As right now we're watching them close into turn 3. You're still on board with Barrier, and now you're back on board with the 53. Look at the mirrors. He's got the side view mirror, the rear view mirror, and he can't stay off the safer barrier. And there ain't no mirror there. If it was, it's got torn off there, Steve.
Yes, sir. Look at that wheel, though. It's way turned left. That car is not handling the way it should. He's definitely has a bent toe link or a wheel for sure. Going to come down pit road now. Damage is too severe.
Yeah, that's tough right there for him, man. Let's see what happened as he still keeps on rolling along here. We'll still stay under the green flag, if you will, the proverbial green flag in this race. All the while, they work their way back around the corner again. Tucker still the man out in front. Works in front apple long. Caston currently your top 5. That's the way it stands right now. As there you see the 41. That's Matt Lovett. He's trying to peek down to the inside. I had some ballpark hot dogs the other night at the ballpark, a matter of fact, calling a baseball game. And obviously he says sponsor on that 41 machine. And he's trying to make a run on Caston, the pole car, but Caston is still not trying to let him have it yet as they work off the corner here out of 4.
Looking pretty solid right now. The 42 of Hank Caston, yeah, got the pole today, and right now looking pretty good in that top 5. Having a solid run so far. Good looking stuff right here. Side by side, I believe in the back here, a little bit rainwater. Who is that? Well, maybe not.
No, I don't think it's rainwater. That was it. Rainwater back at 8th spot now. There's Knighton and Ishikanen. Is it Ishikanen? I think it is. Mock and Muth and all those drivers all in that pack right there. So kind of watching how they work their way around the corner again. Boy, I'm telling you, if we get a long green flag run here, no doubt, Steve Tucker, we kind of hit it on it when we came on the air on Race Day's broadcast coverage here tonight at Dover. It can fly by very quickly, but if we get a wrath of cautions, it'll seem like it's just taking forever because it slows everything down here. And what's so crazy is it's on a 1-mile racetrack.
Agreed. So I'm seeing
right
something.
now.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing something. These guys right here, the 5, and who is this? Brandon Cooper, taking a pretty unique lane. And earlier I was mentioning dominating the corner. This is something I want to show us real quick. So
Sure.
riding on board real quick, entering turn 1, you're going to see him kind of enter into the corner high.
This is Brandon Cooper you're on board with, by the way.
See, I start slow, up high right now, then he'll come down back up against the apron. Turn 2 is really, really tricky here, Wesley. It's so slick. You have to straighten out your exit as much as possible. And right there, by starting off middle, in the middle of that apex and then coming down, you straighten out that corner. Less wheel input means less chances of spinning out and better traction. So right now, looking pretty good there for Brandon Cooper.
That's exactly right. Cooper just kind of being patient, if you will, right now. As you see him still mired in the top 15 with all those drivers on the racetrack. He's currently 16 behind Muth and Knight. Now he clears by the Bud Light, the Busch Light colors, I'm sorry, of Mr. Muth.
Oh!
And no, they're crashing now. Muth and Cooper going around. They're able to get back forward momentum, but the caution will come out for the second time here, working 40 laps into the Dover Delaware 200. Oh, man.
I kind of feel bad, Wesley. We were just on board Cooper, and commentator's curse. It can happen.
Yeah, and it's your fault, not mine.
I'll take the blame this time. Absolutely. Let's go back and
yes,
take a
sir.
look here.
Here's the look at a replay for it. Now, my question is this. Was it more of Cooper coming up? Yeah, it surely was. I mean, he had that other 30 car behind him, and I think he thought he had. I honestly think, Steve, I think he thought he had the clear.
Yeah.
I think he thought he had the clear on the 30, and then all of a sudden when he started to make that run up to the middle lane, he didn't realize how close he was to Muth, and then they just got connected with one another. I just want to say that's just a racing incident. No harm, no foul, nobody's fault, just going at it at 160, 70 miles an hour. And while that goes on, they're at 35, 40 miles an hour on pit road for the first pit stops of the evening here at Dover Motor Speedway.
That's right, 41 laps in. This is a good time to do it. 4 tires and full of fuel. Off you go.
Yeah, this is the perfect time right now to actually be able to take the time to do this, as well as you just forementioned, is 4 tires and fuel is where they're going to go. Here they come, racing off pit road. In was Tucker first. Out is Tucker first. And that's the way they'll sell them in for a restart. We're back with more No Limit Racing, Extreme Graphics, Next Gen Cup Series action. And this is race day from Dover. We'll return for the restart after these words. Welcome back to coverage on race day as the field is getting ready to come back to the Geico restart zone after the second caution of the race. Lap number 43 of 200. We're about to be about a quarter of the way through, 1/4 if you don't know what a quarter is. And we're back to the distance of hitting 50 laps into this one. It looks like everybody's got 4 new tires and fuel for the most part, Steve Tucker, and we're probably ready to see if we can take this one to the halfway mark. If we don't have any problems, it's all Mr. Tucker leading the way back off turn 4.
That's right, looking pretty good. Oh, 3 wide right there for a second. I think they got through it. They did. The 11 and the 80 were pretty well in trouble there. The 11 hit the wall, but keeps it going. These tires are going to feel really good right now, Wesley. The car feels way better than they did 5 laps ago. So now's your chance to either pass some cars or conserve those tires. At this point, you know what these tires are going to feel like after 40 laps. You just did it. So what'd you learn from it? Do you have to hold on to it? Do you have to, can you race harder? A lot can happen here.
Right now, we work our way back across the backstretch with Tucker still out in front. Big gaggle of traffic behind them in the top 10 on back as you see them negotiate off the corner. Behind that, of course, Fawn Apple, Tate, Lovett, Cherry, Lottison. Of course, all these guys trying to hold their
big
line.
wreck.
Because we got trouble. All into turn 1 and 2. The 32 and the 55 go around. And the yellow flag will come out again for the 3rd time here at Dover. It's the number 32 machine for DRH Racing of Daniel Half and the 55 for Virtual 2 Reality, Joel Hamilton. Caution out 3rd time. Here's a look at a replay on race day of what just happened here, Steve.
Yeah, we saw it
Looked
live.
like the 32 just lost it. Looked like half lost it in the corner.
Yeah, he came across the nose of one driver. I can't quite know what it is, but we'll look at it here. Oh, here we go. Right down low of the 22. Thought he had the lane, but...
Oh, boy. Yeah, he got into the 22 machine there. Oh, boy. And that's Michael Wolf. And then the 32, the 55, and the 36, nowhere to go. Obviously, the 36... able to keep on going, the 32 and the 55 up in the safer barrier, but that's, by the way, Elza Indriani, I think it is.
Yeah, Eliza
Indriani,
Indriani, yeah.
I got you. Is that a girl?
I'm going to assume so, yes, but I don't want to assume, I'm not super full up on the roster, but I'll tell you what, I do know that everyone here races pretty well. And sometimes those things can happen, right? I mean, you come down. It's hard to tell, too, if that 22 maybe kind of dove it in there a little bit. It's one of those decisions race control has to make. But either way, tough racing, early on.
Yeah, another caution out over the racetrack here. With, of course, Tucker being the man that leads the way. Wirtz is now up to 2nd spot. So Brian Wirtz starting to show his strengths there, along with the driver of Mr. Dakota Long.
That's right.
Dark Star Garage, Dark Horse Racing, and Clown Crew Motorsports, the team names for the top 3. That's creative.
Yeah.
Especially Clown Crew. Yeah.
There you go. Brian Wirtz trying to go back-to-back here. Won Watkins Glen last week, obviously, after a pretty bold strategy on pit road. And Dalton Tucker still looking for that win, too, for himself. But, man, a lot of cars up here. This, again, Ryan Dingler in that number 16, looking pretty strong. Obviously, Brandon Fernaffel in P6. So a lot of guys up here looking pretty stout early on.
Yeah, there you see that. Sorry about that. My mic fell out of place. The number 30 machine there. All these cars we were referring to, as it looks like we got a car dropping down on the bottom of the apron. That's the 36 machine. I think he was caught up in that incident. He might have a little bit more damage than what we think he did. And that's, or she, I want to say it's Elza Indriani there in the 36. So, find out what the call is.
Coming back on track, looks like, trying to resume into their spot. Daniel Half, unfortunately, still on pit road. Not looking too good right now. Didn't really think he had a lot of damage, but obviously enough to still be on pit road. So either way, a long way to go still, 150 laps.
Yeah, obviously the man right now, that 21 machine, doing a phenomenal job. Obviously Dalton Tucker, and always the quintessential driver, if you will, that is definitely carrying momentum. Obviously Tucker was really strong, but Wirtz was able to steal one, if you will. I think that's the nice way of saying it. Honestly, Steve, I mean, pretty much Dalton Tucker dominated, and then the pit stops and the sequence of the pit stops under green flag at the Glen changed everything, and in doing so, that opened up the door for Mr. Wirtz to get the win, and he never looked back from there, and he obviously got the win at Watkins Glen. The driver, of course, out of Howell, Michigan, the 28-year-old for IMB Racewear. By the way, IMB Racewear, a big partner of the, of course, No Limit Racing Extreme Graphics Next Gen Cup Series. No prizes tonight because we gave away 2 last week, but we will have more prizes and things to give away. But I really want to give a plug to IMB Racewear because I'm understanding, Steve, as we get ready to come back for a restart, man, they've stepped it up, man. They've also got it now where you can actually have extreme graphics in IMB Racewear, but extreme graphics can now do printing for business cards, hero cards, flyers, brochures, and more. And Extreme Graphics is the entitlement sponsor of the No Limit Racing Cup Series that you're watching on race day. So green flag is back out, and Tucker, what a jump, pulling away, rainwater behind him, and there you see Lovett and the driver, of course, a front apple side by side in that Extreme Graphics 30 machine as they work back to the line.
Oh, big wreck on the front stretch right now.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So many top contenders. Christian Light just caught up in it. The 9 is involved. It looks like the 80 caught up in it. Again, another wreck involving that driver. The 02, the 12. We'll let him get scattered here and get back rolling, and we'll let you know what happened as we go under the yellow flag about as fast as we got back on a restart. Morgan Sterling, Josh Fox, Austin Cooper, Anthony Hutchinson, and around we go. Steve set it up for us on race day. What happened here, buddy?
Trying to find what happens right here.
Yeah, it's right here. One of the 11. 11 and the 49. There it is. They started it, but it damn sure didn't finish there. Watch this. Oh, man. Whoa. 12 airborne. That's Josh Fox for Misfits Racing. And then it just had everybody join the melee party from there, if you will, Steve. Man.
Hate to see that right now so early on. Bunch of cars wrecked here, but that 12 got the worst of it.
By the way, I understand we had 40 plus drivers signed in. 40 started, 5 new drivers in the field tonight, so welcome them to the No Limit Racing family. And
it's right on board here, Josh Fox. Board.
Yeah, Land Fox, if you will. This is going to be crazy. He's the one that got airborne for the Misfit Toys. Watch this, listen. Woo! You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Something like that, yeah. I mean,
oh, another caution out here. Hey, real quickly, Steve, find the number 30 car, Brandon Front Apple, and obviously we were talking about Extreme Graphics. We thank them for being the sponsor. He's the man right now, doing well in the top 5. There's that Extreme Graphics machine right now doing well, and at Extreme Graphics now, they can, of course, do printing for business cars, hero cards, flyers, brochures, etc. So there you go. Business cards, hero cards, flyers, brochures, so much more at Extreme Graphics. So contact them. Look them up on Facebook as well. And again, big thanks to them being the title sponsor of the series. They do business cards. I might contact them about getting some business cards done. I need to get some done, actually, for the new year. Awesome.
I'll tell you what, if they look as good as that paint scheme, then I'm sold, because, man, that thing is looking fresh.
Sharp-looking car. Yes, sir, definitely. I mean, obviously, they already do the graphics and the wrap cars, but now doing printing for business cards, hero cards, flyers, brochures, and so much more. They're the people to contact. Find Extreme, that's X Extreme Graphics on Facebook, and tell them Race Day and the broadcast crew sent you. We're under caution. Couple of yellow flags back to back, working the fourth one. We'll step away. We'll be back with some more coverage in just a moment here on Race Day. Multi-car accident on the front straightaway, putting us under caution flag number 4 here at the Dover Motor Speedway. By the way, got some updates thanks to the fine folks at Downforce Race Control Services. Understanding the number 98 machine, Steve Tucker, was given a black flag EOL penalty. That is Mario Miranda for jumping the start on his 98 Toyota. So he kind of got stuck with a penalty right out of the gate. The pole driver did.
Yeah, tough break, but you got to be careful of that, because that can be a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's the driver of the 98 machine of, again, Mario Miranda out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, right there, having one penalty so far in this incident at the race. We're coming back to green when they come back around to the line. Working lap number 57 of 200 laps. Welcome back to coverage on Race Day. I'm Wesley Outland. Of course, we got our buddy working alongside with us, Mr. Steve Tucker, and it was flying by pretty quickly, and then we get caution after caution after caution. And boy, I was hoping that we'd already been halfway by this point, but hopefully these guys and the race director with Downforce can tell them to watch their noggins here, mind their P's and Q's, and let's get back to the race again here as we get ready to wrap up our 4th caution of the event. Here they come. Pace cars on the pit lane. Front row, spinning tires. Tucker gives plenty of room to Rainwater on the bottom. Long on the top to the lead as we go back to green here on lap 58.
A power move right there for Dakota Long. Look at that. Up to the P1.
There is the Goodwrench colors of the number 29 machine. That is Long. Did you know, true story, that before the man in black, the late Dale Earnhardt Sr., who, by the way, celebrated a birthday the other day, even though he passed away in 2001, his birthday would have been April 29th. But with that being said, Steve, did you know that the original colors of the Goodwrench number 3 were supposed to be blue? Go back to that car up front, the 29 of Long. That's what the color was supposed to have been for the original car of Dale Earnhardt Sr. And while that goes on, we got another darn caution. Yellow flag out on the racetrack. And we'll find what happened. I want to think it might be the 11. The 02, I think, just got caught up in it again. The 88 of Kyle Hall, I think he got a piece of it. Well, actually, he was on pit road. I think it's the 11. Brandon Ishkanian and some other guys here. So we're under another yellow flag. Boy, we were doing so well. We were doing so well, Steve, and now we've caution after caution after caution.
We sure were. We don't, nothing's yelling at me to go. Hold on, here it is.
There it is. Oh, yeah, you're dead on it, brother. Yeah, the 11. Yeah, there it is. The 11 and the 32 getting together. That's Daniel Half, his Ford, second time in a caution, as well as Brandon Ishkanian in the 11 Chevrolet. I don't see anybody coming down pit road, not right now. Now, a couple of takers. Austin Cooper's on pit road, had damage. And Daniel Half would have been the lucky dog, but because the free pass, but because he was a part of the accident, that gets nulled. We have another accident on the racetrack here to put us under the yellow flag.
Yeah, right now it's lap 63. I mean, they just got tires a little over 20 laps ago, but keep in mind we've had, like 3 or 4 cautions now since then. So tires really aren't that bad at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them take tires again around lap 100. We'll see, though, obviously, as cautions come out or not come out. But right now, yeah, lap 63, 5th caution, getting pretty dicey.
So the 5th caution of the race coming out here. There you see some of the drivers on the racetrack. The 47, the 24. That's Mock and Loddison.
Another extreme graphic Chevy right there, looking pretty good.
It is, man. Beautiful looking cars right there.
Oh, yeah. All over the track. Dubby on this one, Mobile
Dubby,
1.
Yeah, Dubby, Mobile 1. Haviland. What is that? Is that buildsubmarines.com, like Brad Keselowski's car?
It is, yeah. Yep.
That's 17 of Korea. Liberty Paintball Games.
Always a fun paint scheme to look at. And you can't miss his car either. Bright yellow. You always know where he is on track.
It's Rosie, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. There's the 98 Toyota. That's the Victory Fuel entry of course, Mario Miranda. Miranda out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Beautiful looking race car. Kind of reminds me of the Jegs colors, except flip-flopped,
yes.
reversed.
Yep.
Victory Fuel, obviously. Big shout out to my buddy Kevin Swindell and all the folks with Victory Fuel. I've been been very acquainted with working with them lately, and obviously giving away, oh my God, they've just. I'm a fan of the full throttle punch. Love it, and I love the fact that it's not an energy drink. It is kind of like a water. Flavor water, but it's got like electric lights and it gives you energy, and it's really, really good. Oh, that's good. I don't know if you ever had it before, Steve, but
no,
man, it's delicious.
Might have to. But that 98 car has already seen victory lane this season so far in Darlington a couple weeks back, so definitely knows how to get it done, and looking pretty good again today. Right now P17, but has some work to do, but not too late. Lap 65 out of 200. Can get that done for sure.
Now we'll try this again here as wreck on the front straightaway. Yellow flag for the 5th time. Putting us under caution here at the Dover Motor Speedway. It is the No Limit Racing. There's that car, by the way. There's the car. And did you know, Steve, that was going to be the original colors of Dale Earnhardt Sr. right there? True story.
I'll tell you what, I'm a sucker for blue and white, and right there, that looks pretty clean. And I'm a fan.
This is what they did. Richard Childress had the car designers have a car, one side blue and white, the other side black and white and silver, and obviously the black car won out. But that was the idea right there. They thought that the Goodwrench would stand out bolder with the black instead of the blue, and that was the reason why they did that. So there's the story. There's a story behind that car, number 29 of Long, and of course, Dale Earnhardt Sr., probably the greatest NASCAR driver in my opinion, one of the greats besides Richard Petty, right there. And of course the famed colors of Good Renshaw. Always think about the Intimidator when I see that. We're back to green here at Dover. Long, Rainwater, Tucker, Tate, and Dingler. Remember Dingler earlier had a little tangle on the racetrack in the number 16 machine on the front stretch exiting turn 4, Steve. And there you see him right now, paying his dues, racing along Tucker to go to 4th, and he's in the top 5.
He sure is, and right in front, you just mentioned it, Dalton Tucker right now on the outside lane trying to make it work. He's now going to be in some dirty air. We saw him and how fast he was in clean air in the lead. But right now, have to deal with that dirty air. Can he get through it effectively? Get back to the front. We're going to find out.
Hanging on to that spot right now as they work their way back to the corner. Look at that 47. That's Mock on the inside. To the corner again, watch and love it. You see them all holding their line. Back down into the corner, and we got another yellow flag as we got up stacking up on the front straightaway. Oh man, 6th caution of the race and problems here on the racetrack. We'll find out what happened, Steve.
Yeah, this one might take some digging to find out what happened here. Let's try and, oh, hold on. 24 looks like is involved a little bit. Where's he at? We'll try and track this down for you. Sean Lodison, here we go. Let's go back a bit.
Lodison, Sean Lodison there. And let's see what happened to him. And that 24 machine. Oh, wow.
Keeps it back going, so great job keeping it off the wall, but I believe him and the 98 get involved. We'll have to try and find out real quick if we can. Here we go. This will tell the story at least.
Yeah, there's Sean Lodison, the 24. There is Mario Miranda,
Ooh.
And there you see the contact and that fishtail the car. And oh, and there, well, I wonder if there's a little history between those guys, or at least a little bump and banging before we saw the end result of this here on the racetrack earlier, Steve.
Yeah, maybe so. I kind of want to see an on board of that real quick if I can. That was pretty interesting. He just got right to the back of his bumper. Let's see if we can get a better angle here. Here it is. Yeah, a little bumperoo right there, and
yeah,
hate to.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if Miranda and Lodison kind of had some history on the racetrack. Yep, the caution out again here.
Has some
And
right side
here's
damage,
the thing. We were doing so well. I think we've now gone about 30, 40 minutes under caution flag periods, because the first, 30, at least the first 40 laps or so, 50 laps, were going by really quickly.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was telling you about when we came on the air. This track, even though it's a 1 mile in length racetrack, when you start having cautions, green caution, it starts taking time, and it seems like an eternity before you get ready to go back to the green flag again. And obviously now we're seeing it. 6 cautions in the last, 20, 25 laps, I would say.
Yeah, definitely tough. I mean, 6 cautions, generally speaking for a race is not too bad, but 6 in the first half is a hard day. So right now, just tough racing right early in the season. These guys trying to make a name for themselves, and it can happen.
So the caution back out again. There you see Long, Rainwater, Tucker, Tate, and Wirtz. The top 5 will step away and thank more partners as we are back for the restart. Hopefully a long green flag run approaching halfway here on race day. Getting ready to set us up for a restart here on lap number 72 of 200 laps. Wesley Outland, Steve, of course, Tucker there with you on race day as we get ready to come back to the green flag. iRacing pace car has the lights off. Phil to come back to the Geico restart zone for the, of course, No Limit Racing Extreme Graphics Next Gen Cup Series as round 5 is ready to come back to green at Dover. Here they come off of 4, slowly creeping, crawling to the firebox as they work back to that line. There they go. Green flag back out. Long with a great launch on the outside lane. He'll carry also some other cars with him as the outside starts to work with now Jerry as they work into turn 2. Back stretch now, back at speed. See him working off 3 and 4. I tell you, one bouncing off the wall right there. You just caught a glimpse of it. Hopefully he can save it as you see Long in front. There's a battle now, Steve. Battle going on for second spot. That's all this happening as they work their way down the back stretch behind under the pedestrian bridges, if you will. Tate, Rainwater, and Tucker going at it there big time off 3 and 4.
They sure are. They sure are. But right here for the top 10, these guys are fighting tooth and nail right now, side by side, trying to get themselves in a better position. Track position here is so key. If we get that long green flag run, you definitely want to be up here. Here we go. Another battle here for top 5.
There's that battle we just mentioned. The 94 machine, Tate getting into it for a moment, single file. Tucker just looked like he glanced off the safer barrier to the inside. Here comes now Tucker, bottom. That was actually the driver of, is that Lovett? No, Rainwater. Rainwater's car getting some company from Tucker. This is for second and third. Meanwhile, they're also starting to close in on the leader as they work their way back to the line on lap number 77.
That 29 is pretty strong right now, that good wrench blue machine, but man, it's a tough deal right here. Hot, slick track, and look at this, a battle right here for top 5. Chris Tate and Brand Wirtz.
Another battle going on here. Look at the contact. Wirtz going after Tate. Tate battles on the outside. Watkins, Glenn Winter on the bottom as they hold it together, going back into the corner again. All this happening now between the top 5. You're on board there with that camera angle with Wirtz. And now looks like Brian Wirtz going to try to have to shake it off and start over again here to make a run down on that driver of Tate and Company off of turn number 1. So all the while, now new leader Dakota Long, as we mentioned, that 29 blue Goodwrench colors leading the way. Here comes now Rainwater. There's Tucker again. Steve, we've seen Dalton Tucker hit the wall about 2 or 3 times, but he hasn't lost control of the race car, though.
Yeah, he's holding onto it pretty well right now. Dirty Air can do that. You get tight in weird spots, especially in 2 on exit. And right now, he's looking pretty good. Tires are still feeling pretty good, but not too far away here from green flag pit stops if we do go green here for a while.
Closing in now, lap number 80. Obviously, there's Tucker. Tucker in that 3rd spot. There you see the Build Submarines and the Victory Fuel entries, the 17 of the 98 going at it again outside the top 10. Matthew Correa in the spot. Mario Miranda behind him. All this happening. Remember, the 98 machine suffered a penalty at the starting of this race after an incident that happened on track with jumping the start. Since then, everybody else has been kind of minding their P's and Q's, clean and green. Recap of the race so far, we went about a good 50-plus laps, and then we had a plethora of 4 yellow flags in a row. And, of course, that took the time momentum away from where the race was. And maybe the race director, Steve, had a combo with these guys and got them calmed back down, and hopefully we can get back going to the, at least get to the halfway mark of this race right now. Try to settle in for a green flag run.
Absolutely. That might have been happening for sure. Right now, we're seeing great racing. P2 is getting pretty heated. And to your point, they are catching your leader right now, Dakota Long. A lot of battles on track right here.
And they'd work their way back to the front stretch. That's from a camera angle that's actually off the back straightaway here now. As there you see Tucker showing his opportunity to be the top dog. There's the camera view from the front straightaway. Stationary on top. Looking now back into turn 3. You see that machine of Tucker. Tucker now just decisively staying in line. Working that 21 card off the wall finally. There's the 05 entry SB Fabrications Chevrolet. That's the driver of Rainwater. And Rainwater doing a really good job right now, just kind of still being patient, staying in that second spot. Noah Rainwater.
Yeah, Tucker lost some time right there. He was right up on the bumper of Noah Rainwater, but lost a lot of time right there. So not sure what happened, but still fighting pretty hard. Look at this for a top 10 spot. Can throw a blanket over him right now, all close together. Matt Cherry leading this group right here.
Yeah, there's that 45 that we mentioned, the NOS Energy Drink Colors entry of Matt Cherry. Matt Cherry for DNQ Racing, Incognito Racing right there. The Chevrolet up now 5 spots into the 7th position. He was 12th on the restart, and he is quickly climbing up through the field in that NOS Energy Drink machine right now. There you see Lovett and Miranda going at it. The 41 and the 98 machine. That's going on for 9th and 10th as they work off the corner, put lap number 90 on the board. Closing in on the halfway mark of this one here as they go back into the corner again. Long, Rainwater, Tucker, Tate Works. Top 5 behind them. Look at this battle. That's Taylor, Knighton, Correa, the 28. Taylor in the 44. 14 of Kahn now to the outside, trying to make a run on the W machine. There is their side-by-side out for Steve.
Great racing right now. You said it earlier, man. These guys are starting to figure it out. Looking pretty good way outside there for the 44. We're going to start to see these tires are getting pretty worn now, so we're going to start to see different lines trying to come into play. Starting off high. Look at the 44. Starts off high right here. Going to come down most likely down the track here. Doesn't quite do it there. Of course not, as I'm saying it, but trying to diamond that corner. Ooh, see a car off way off course right here. Who was that? Pink car right here. Austin Cooper. Thought he wrecked a second ago in the background.
Oh,
there it is.
The caution. I think he thought maybe he was going to be able to keep on going, but that's just not the case for the Ghost Energy Drink Chevrolet number 80 machine. And that, of course, will put us under, I believe, the 7th caution of this race. That's the driver, Austin Cooper, in the Ghost Energy Ford. Yellow flag out again here on lap number 92 for another incident on the racetrack. 7th caution of the race. Oh.
Yeah, he was never sideways or backwards, so I'm not sure what really brought out the caution here. It might have been him, unless it was an actual race control caution. We can find out there in just a second. Oh, really slowed up. Oh, okay, was sideways there for a second, but never really truly sideways. iRacing can sometimes be a little janky, and they sometimes throw yellows that maybe shouldn't be, and right there, that could be one of them right there. But either way, under caution again.
My question is this, my question is answered. There you see them all coming down pit road. I had a feeling as we're approaching the halfway mark of this race, they pitted around lap number, I don't know, 40-something the last time. They've knocked off another 40, 50 laps. You see them coming down to the pit lane, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah, this is a big stop. I mean, right now, again, 4 tires, fuel, almost the halfway point. We'll probably go back green around 97-ish laps. And right now, look at this. A couple of drivers at the front. Brian Wirtz not getting a great pit stop there. Miranda. Everyone down pit road. Joel Hamilton is going to be a new leader.
Yeah, another yellow flag out again, closing in on the halfway mark. This has been, well, the caution field, the first 40 laps of it, things were kind of good, fast, going quickly. Then from there on, the last 50 laps has definitely been green caution, green caution. We just ended probably about they went, last caution was on lap 69. They came back to a restart on lap number 74. So they just ended about a 20-lap green flag run here.
Yes, sir. Right now, though, kind of digging this paint scheme right here for Joel Hamilton, your new leader. Looks like an old school Mark Martin paint scheme, I believe.
Yeah, that does look sharp right there, man, for sure. Look at that, the old Haviland colors, if you will.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, the Valvoline. The Valvoline colors is that one. Haviland is the other car we saw earlier, but that's the Valvoline paint scheme with the American Heart Association for Team VLR, the 55 car right there. Beautiful looking race machine there. That's Hamilton up in front right now. Joel Hamilton will be the man to lead us back to the green as we finally are approaching halfway. Back with more coverage on race day from Dover next. Back here on race day as we are slowly approaching the halfway mark of the race. That's the good thing, right? But still a long way to go. And what has been caution filled, probably the last 50 laps or so, it is now going to be Hamilton to be the driver. That will be on the front row of that 55 machine. Joel Hamilton will bring us to the green flag. He is choosing the inside or the outside for the choose rule. This opens the door to Noah Rainwater on the bottom. By the way, Noel Tucker, who last time pitted came out first. This time Tucker is all the way back in 20th. The driver, Dalton Tucker, in the 20th spot, as we'll get ready to bring the field back to green flag here, working lap number 97 of 200 laps in this one here. So Hamilton on the outside, Rainwater down to the bottom. Here comes the cavalry working off of that fourth turn. Here they come back to the Geico restart zone, and the green flag will fly once again. Let's watch and see what Hamilton can do. Me and Steve were kind of chatting about it during network timeout, and here you see it being swallowed up. Long Rainwater leaving Hamilton out to dry off too. Hamilton still falling back all the way to the top 10. as Long and Rainwater making contact for the lead. Long take to the inside, 3 wide in the corner. Can you do it at Dover? Oh my, Steve, they did. Tate Powers back on the bottom. Long bouncing off the safer barrier, and the Goodrich 29 back to the lead. Unbelievable, as now Tate sideways, dirt trucks it off the corner. Here comes Miranda down to the inside of the 98. Choosing to stay into the bottom, and there's contact. Munger nowhere to go, and the one goes around. Tucker is caught up in it. He's in the wreck. Caution out for the 8th time. Oh my.
Man, Wesley, I'll tell you what, I have not seen 3 wide too often here at Dover, and they made that work masterfully. But back in the pack here, unfortunately got together the 1 car of Brandon Munger. And Dalton Tucker again, bad luck. Strikes once more, gets involved in that wreck. Right now in 18th spot, Wesley.
Not even 2 laps and another caution halfway on lap 100. Caution coming out again on a spin off of turn 2. The 11 machine, or the 1 machine, I'm sorry, car number 1, Munger. Let's watch this on race day. Look at him swallowed up there. And yeah, Brandon Ishikanen is in there along with Hamilton. You got fast traffic and slow traffic with drivers that didn't pit. Here is the exchange of what you can sometimes end up with. Look at Munger. Look at Tucker. T-bones the driver door. Then gets into Ishikawa again. Lottison somehow weasels by. And this is the result of either the 21 getting a penalty or being mired in the back. And Steve, the fast machine, caught up in an accident. You know he didn't want to be a part of that, but that's what happens.
Yeah, and unfortunately for that 21, that's a bigger hit than you think it is right there, especially in the inside wall. This track is pretty narrow, and right there, man, that left front might be, towed in a little bit. The camber might be off, and that wheel might not be straight, but either way, some damage to fix for sure for that 21.
So another caution flag. Boy, I tell you what, that restart, that racing was fast and furious too.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That was crazy. Those guys fighting at it also. Very fun.
Yeah, I will say
Another
big respect for Joel Hamilton though. He knew he was going to be as fast as the leaders and pulled off way up high, let them race for it and go past him. So knows his role when it comes to his spot. Got some laps led, so got some extra bonus points there for himself, but knew enough to get out of the way, and pretty good job right there for him. So a couple of takers down pit road, Wesley. We're seeing Christopher Tate, Brendan Munger, Hutchinson.
Yeah, I see guys obviously that were part of the incident, obviously getting checked out and seeing what they got to do. So, yeah. Caution out again, man. Obviously, we welcome you to our coverage. Round number 5 tonight of the No Limit Racing Extreme Graphics Next Gen Cup Series here at Dover Motor Speedway. The Delaware 200 is finally after halfway. Thank you, DRH Racing. Appreciate it. Thank you for the broadcast. Thank you, sir. Great job. And he says, well, guess I'm sitting the rest of this one out. So something happened to him. He says he's done for. So, yeah. All right. If we could just get a lengthy green flag run, and I wish these guys would realize you can't win this race on the first lap, right? I mean, yeah. Steve, it's the real cliche, virtual or reality. Bottom line, to first win the race, you must first finish. And that don't matter whether it's on the iRacing or in real life. And, these guys reckon like they're in the funny papers. All it's doing is just, prolonging the inevitable, where basically, we can't get to lap 200. And I just, guys, be patient. There's a lot of incidents I've seen on track that they're really uncalled for right now, honestly.
Yes, sir. Hey, racing is going to happen, but to your point, I agree. But hey, a bad day at the racetrack is still a better day than a good day at work, right? So we're gonna finish this thing, Wesley. And I'll tell you what, I don't know. I mean, obviously we've had a couple of green flag runs here, but still tough to tell who can win this race. We've seen some guys up front here. Dakota Long, we know Mario Miranda's fast. Brian Wirtz, Dalton Tucker, unfortunately involved in a wreck right there. So this might change the game here for this front 5 or 10.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Field's going to get ready to come back to the restart. Dan Half, by the way, was the driver that was in the chat box. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate it. 15 spots, Dakota Long back up in front of that beautiful blue Goodwrench number 29. Noah Rainwater has been up in the top 5 all night long. Ready for 95 to go here at Dover. Field comes to the line. Green flag is back in the air. Let's see how all this shake, rattles, and rolls into turn number 1. Back to the bottom. It's long to the inside. Front air. Rainwater's got some company. The pole machine. Here comes Mario Miranda looking for that spot on the outside as they work their way into turn number 3. Making a good run. Here he comes. All these other drivers inside and outside, holding their line again back into the corner. Here comes Cherry up on the outside lane. Cherry Correa now on the inside. That's the Build Submarines 17. Brad Keselowski look-alike machine right there, trying to make a run behind him. Front Apple trying to get back into the dogfight. He is lurking inside, outside, snaking on the competition, and carries Matt Lovett with him. Steve back up the banking.
Just saw the 44 Matthew Taylor a second ago get into the wall. Going to be careful there. We saw Brandon Barrier do the same thing earlier on. If you hit the wall too much, Wesley, that right front's going to tow out, and that's not going to drive too well. It's going to be a bad day pretty quick. Some big battle right here in the back. Dalton Tucker trying to make his way back to the front in that 21, currently in 17th spot.
Backstretch again into 3 and 4, coming up on another lap here. Long staying in that top spot there. You see Lovett and Correa now battle door to door, side by side to the back straightaway. This is the battle for 7th and 8th position. And now here comes some more traffic in the mist with Taylor, Knight, Mock, Lottison, and we have another yellow flag. Problems on the racetrack up against the safer barrier on the outside retaining wall in 1 and 2. There's the Domino's machine, the number 22 car, and that is the driver of Michael Wolf, his Chevrolet, in big trouble. We'll find out what happened to him to put us under our 9th caution flag in less than 60 laps, if you will. Crazy, Steve Tucker. My.
Yes, sir. Let's find out what happened here. Might be next lap, but we'll just let it play out for a second. Behind the 28. Casey Knighton.
You see Lottison starting to make a climb, and we mentioned that. Remember, those drivers that were in the back, and just wonder if they might have been a little aggressive here.
Oh, the one again. But yeah, that 22 looks like just got loose off of turn 4. And then Lottison really had nowhere to go. Couldn't really check it fast enough and got into the back of him, and away we go.
Yeah, for the most part, that pretty much tells the tale. Another yellow flag here. Tucker on pit road, the 80 on pit road.
Yeah, some damage still to fix here for the 21, the 80, 22 obviously just involved in that wreck, Michael Wolf, but not looking too good right there. But a couple of guys still have some fenders left on the car, but lots of repair damage to fix right now. But up front still, Dakota Long looking pretty quick. Mario Miranda, a winner from 2 weeks ago in Darlington, right up there as well, so lots of players up here in the front.
Yeah, man, what a tough break that is right there, watching all this transpire. Watching the driver of, let's see here, it was Miranda climbing back through the field, man. That's been fun watching him. Obviously, remember, he suffered a penalty. And that was on the start of the race. The 98 did the victory fuel entry, and he has fought his way back through the field, putting himself right back in that number 2 position on the racetrack. Of course, Long, Miranda, Rainwater, Wirtz, Dingler, top 5. Remember, the 16 got caught up in an accident on the start of things as well. I want to say he probably was the first caution of the race. We've had a stretch of cautions where, honestly, Steve, if you're keeping track, thanks to Downforce Race Control Services, for about 60, 70 laps, we've had 8 cautions, or at least 7 cautions in 70 laps. It's crazy.
It sure is. And right now, looking at your ticker on the left side of your screen, the tower, excuse me, you're seeing it. I mean, 31st through 40th are out of the race right now. And then some. Right now, Anthony Hutchinson on your screen is the lucky dog. If you were to keep this spot for the next time by, if we were to get a caution. So the O2 holding on to it, although that car looks pretty beat up. But top 20 are on the lead lap right now, 21, excuse me. And then 22nd on down is either one lap down or a couple. But a bunch of guys out of the race right now, Wesley. Getting pretty
well, buddy,
getting pretty dicey.
Unfortunately, yeah, man. Unfortunately, I was optimistic, hoping that I was going to be able to finish this whole thing with you like we did last week at Watkins Glen, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. As you know, I have another broadcast obligation at 9:20, so I'm going to have to jump off here, my friend. Have fun calling the rest of it. I'll try to jump on and see the chat or the finish of the race later on tonight, and we'll see you next week at the next one. And obviously, I know that race is going to be at, let's see here.
Nashville, I believe, Super Speedway.
Nashville next week. So, brother, you've got the final call of the last 80 laps. Thanks to everybody for checking us out on race day. And, man, I'll see you next week, sir.
Alrighty, dude. Great stuff again. All right, there he is, folks. Wesley. Man, what a gift to have him on the broadcast every week. But, yeah, busy man. With a voice like that, I do not blame that he has more jobs out there. But here we go. Lap 114. Going to hit 115 right now. We're going back green. About to decide this race here pretty soon. Past the halfway point. Here we go. Back green right now. Dakota Long, Mario Miranda. Off we go here. Very strong restart right here. Matt Cherry way upside on the outside lane. Looking pretty good. Still too wide in the back, though. Look at this. 44 down low. Going to try and sneak in between that 17. Looking very strong. A lot of these guys, look at the 44 way up high right there. That can work for a short bit, but you don't want to do it all too long. The tires will burn right off. Lots of great driving though right now at the front. Dakota Long under heavy fire though from Mario Miranda. Gonna get past here down low. Can Mario make this thing work? Super Mario, they call him. As you can see above the window net, Super Mario in that 98 Victory Fuel machine. Couldn't quite get it done there, but looking extremely fast. Little bobble there from Rainwater. Gonna get pressure here from Dingler. Very fast here. Tell you what, this top 10 just about has been putting on one hell of a show all day today. And look at this. Dives down low. The tires are still feeling pretty good here at this point, but they do wear off pretty quick. Again, this track is concrete. Keep that in mind, but look at this further in the back too. Amazing racing, 2x2 still. These restarts are the best time to pass these cars, but you can't take too long to make it happen. If this race goes green rest of the way, you have to have those tires to make it work. But oh no, Noah Rainwater, huge wreck right here. Gets into the 44, I believe that was, of Matthew Taylor. Oh no, and then Eliza in the 36, all together right here. Was just saying so much about Noah Rainwater, and all of a sudden, it all goes downhill. Man, tough break. 10th caution of the day. And that was at the front of the field too, so let's go back and take a look. I believe Dingler and Rainwater were battling right there. Man, what happened to these guys? Here we go. Ryan Wirtz right there, little tag. Getting into turn 1. The 05 on the outside lane here. It happens in 3 and 4, so we'll wait a second and find out what might have happened here. Wirtz all over the bumper. Rainwater just comes down. He was clear, but is this it? Oh, the 82 just tries to sneak himself into that low line. He wasn't quite clear just yet. And Rainwater, unfortunately, had nowhere to go at that point. Holds the brakes. The 44 had nowhere to go. The 11 sort of sneaks through. Eliza Arca brakes a little bit through that into the 05, but that unfortunately might put an end to a top 5 run for Noah Rainwater. You hate to see that after a great run, but these things can happen, folks. This race, man, oh man, 121 laps in, about 79 laps to go, and I'll tell you what, 79 laps here can happen pretty quick. But caution after caution after caution. 10 cautions at this point. Again, we don't have stages in this series, so those 10 cautions are all for incident. Tough racing at a short mile track, concrete track. These things can happen right here. Sean Lodison, look at this, 13th on the track. That 24 got involved in a wreck earlier on in the race, and right now, like Wesley said earlier, really recovering pretty well in that 24 Extreme Graphics. Big shout out to Extreme Graphics, obviously, for all the work they do. A lot of great stuff, as well as supporting the series itself. The Extreme Graphics Cup Series. Cool stuff. 122 laps into the race right now. Pace car still has the lights on. So we'll take a quick break here and thank a few of our sponsors. We'll come right back, folks, to Dover. All right, folks, welcome back to Dover here for the Extreme Graphics Next Gen Series presented by No Limit Racing. We are now working our 10th caution of the day, lap 123. Just over 75 laps to go here in a big time field. A lot of guys in the front of the field looking pretty good. And you know what? Right now, a big sponsor of ours for race day, Harpoon Design. HarpoonDesign.com. We're going to bring the noise here as we come to this restart. Let's get it. And just like that, unfortunately, man, the commentator's curse strikes again. Looks like Brian Wirtz was involved in that caution right there, our 11th caution of the day. Man, tough break. Sometimes in other series that we do, when we do the Bring the Noise segment, sometimes cautions strike, and right there is no difference. So let's go back and take a look at what happened there. Man, that's a tough break for Brian Wirtz. Again, last week's winner at Watkins Glen, keep in mind. Man, tough break right there. Brandon Fernapple involved, Brian Wirtz as well. Try and go back a little bit here and see if we can find out what started this. Oh, some contact between the 82 and the 45 Matt Cherry. It looks like what we saw previously when, you know, the 82 comes down kind of into that 45. Man, that's a tough break. Brian Wirtz, Fernapple right there is well involved. 47 kind of sneaks by there in the lower lane. Hate to see that kind of thing, but man, that's going to happen. But here we go. 11th caution of the day. Long way to go still, but we are going to finish this race, I promise. Keep in mind, too, we do get 3 green-white checkered flag finishes, which obviously we're not into that realm yet, but still a long way to go. Again, big thanks, folks, for being here and sticking around. Obviously, this many yellow flags is not favorable, but you guys are still here and watching us and enjoying the broadcast, we hope. Leave a comment in the chat for us and tell us what you like about the stream, and appreciate you guys doing that, hitting the like button, subscribe button. We're just about at 650 subs, which is pretty awesome, actually. We just hit that recently and growing pretty quick, so we love that. We love you guys for supporting us, as well as No Limit Racing and all the broadcasts and leagues we do across the channel. So big thanks to you folks. Right now, though, caution flag is still in the air. Pace lights are still on. Dakota Long is your leader still. Ryan Dingler, P2. Matt Cherry in 3rd. Matt Lovett in 4th place. And Matthew Correa in P5. We'll definitely give our Bring the Noise segment one more go at some point. Maybe not at the restart, because we don't want to jinx it again, but you never ever know. Dakota Long, though, is your leader, looking very smooth right now. Again, a lot to say about Sean Ludison right here. Look at this. I mean, P6, up 4 spots on the day, so started P10, but man, he had a wreck earlier and definitely has a fast car today, so looking very fast. Dalton Tucker, another one, got involved in a wreck earlier, was very dominant first, I don't know, first 50 of the laps. Extremely fast car, and got involved in an incident a little bit ago, and up to P9 as we speak, so extremely fast, it looks like, for him right now. A couple of guys as well down pit road. Robert Kahn. So right now looking pretty strong for a lot of these guys. Fernapple has some damage there on the right side, obviously. Got involved and got tagged into that wall from Brian Wirtz, but doesn't look too bad, but might have unfortunately knocked out the right front or something, and sometimes those don't look obvious, but in a case like this, that might be the situation here. Noah Rainwater still right now in 24th spot. Fortunately got dinged up pretty bad from a previous caution. Right now the top 20 are currently on the lead lap. Here we go. We're going to come back to green here on lap 129. Have about 70 laps to go to decide this Dover race here for the No Limit Racing Extreme Graphics Next Gen Series, and here we go. Green flag back out. Dakota Long going to be your leader. It's a great restart. And back off we go. So far getting through one and turn, nice and easy. As more of these wrecks happen and more of the cautions happen, more drivers get out of the race, keep in mind. So, in theory, less cars on track means potentially more green flag racing. We'll see right now, but still bouncing off the walls here in turn 2. A lot of these guys got to be careful. Dalton Tucker makes a move here to Austin Cooper, and now takes over P6. Looking very, very fast again still. Lodison right now on the outside of Miranda, trying to make it stick. So far, an amazing job here for these guys. Outside lane has Austin Cooper got involved in a couple of wrecks, actually. Right now, not looking too bad. Still has that top 10 car, but falling back a little bit. Now Brian Wirtz and Casey Knighton in just a second. Bounces off that turn 2 wall. Got to be careful there for sure. Dakota Long looking very, very quick. Dingler in P2 as well. And look at this fight right here. Dalton Tucker making a move here to the 17 of Matthew Correa. Close racing, gonna be careful right there. Boom, hits turn 4. Uh-oh, Christopher Tate. Hit the wall just a little bit and then got a little squirrely, but keeps it going. Great job right there for him. Christopher Tate is a guy we saw a couple weeks ago at Darlington. Very, very fast. Had a chance to win that race. And right now has shown some speed, but hasn't really shown enough speed to really get himself to the front. P10 right now as we sit, but not a bad run for sure. We definitely expect to see him in those podium spots, maybe even a win before year's end. Very, very fast driver. Up at the front still. Some big separation. Dakota Long. Ryan Dingler looking very, very quick. Everyone behind, though, looking pretty good. Christopher Tate makes that move around Wirtz. Hard racing here. Austin Cooper in the 11 machine. Brandon Nishkanian. Looking very, very good right here. Going to make the work on the outside lane. We still expect these drivers to make one more pit stop. Will it be green or will it be under yellow? We'll see, but it just depends on when that yellow flag comes out. If it does, I mean, a lot can happen, obviously, in the next 65 laps or so. Nobody wants to see that caution, but I'll tell you what, green flag pit stops will make this race pretty interesting. Do we see guys take 2 tires? Kind of loosen up that car and off they go, or what? 4 tires full of fuel? We will see. I think it'll come down to when that caution does come out, if it does come out. But pretty soon here we'll be in that range where if a caution were to come out, everyone can come down pit road, take the tires and the fuel, and be good to go the rest of the way. But right now, some crazy good racing all the way around this track. Dalton Tucker up to P4 right now, around Matt Cherry here down low, and looking extremely quick. Look at this, the 21 car, up and down and all around this field all day long, and here he is, back up to a top 3 podium spot. Very, very impressive. Has enough time to still make his way back up into that P1 spot. It has about a little under 2 seconds to catch them. We will see. Some great battles all around right now. Matthew Taylor currently in that 20th spot. Pretty well beat up car right here. Some great racing. Look at this. Anthony Hutchinson got his lap back. And here he is back up to P17. Pretty good stuff here for him. That front end not looking too good, but still making laps and still tracking for a decent finish. Up 14 spots from his qualifying effort, so qualified in the 30s. And right now in P17, not too bad right there for him. looking pretty strong, but great racing right here. We're seeing some more action up front. Dingler is closing in on that gap right now. He's about a half a second back from Dakota Long. And that gap has closed just a little bit. He's making it work. Chris Tate, here he comes into P5 right now. This is where we're going to start to see the separation, right? Who is good on short runs and who is good on long runs? Because the short runs, anyone can be good on short runs, right? Because of the fresh tires and whatnot. But right here, saving your tires, not burning them off early, taking the right lane, that can all matter. Look at this, Miranda making a power move here down low. Big battle here for the top three. And they have closed the gap. It was about 1.7 seconds back from the leaders, but right here, they're about a second back, so they are both faster than the top two. If this thing stays green, I've got a feeling it might come down to Dalton Tucker and Mario Miranda. Miranda has that gap right there. Can't quite get it done just yet. Going to set him up, though, out of the corner exit. Gets himself loose just a little bit. Can't quite make it done. But, man, awesome stuff right here. Dingler not able to keep going. Brendan Munger right now comes down pit road for an early pit stop. Going to short pit here and see if that'll benefit him. It might. The short pit here could work. Ryan Wirtz, oh no, way off track right here. What happened to him? Oh boy. Really, really hard hit right there for him. Let's go back real quick while we're under green. Can we find it? I think we can. Here we go. Oh, over the 47. Oh man, huge hit right there, both ends of the track. And that's going to be it. Crawled his way back to pit road. No caution on the track. Unfortunately, that'll end Ryan Wirtz's race today. Crab walking down pit road. But again, last week's winner at Watkins Glen, not too bad. Sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug. And today, unfortunately, is that kind of a day. But hey, a win last week, you can't feel too bad about it. Having an unbelievably good season so far. At the front, though, Dakota Long is your leader. But for how long? Dalton Tucker has tracked him down. And Mario Miranda is right there as well. They both passed Dingler a second ago. And Tucker looking extremely good here on the long run. Give you folks a great angle here. This is the gyro cam. Really shows off the angle here. We're going to find out. Going to make a move for the lead here in just a second. Dive down low here in turns 3 and 4. Set him up and complete the pass potentially in turns 1 and 2. What a fantastic move there. This is for the lead, folks. There he goes. He clears them. And off the exit, we have a new leader here. Dalton Tucker back to the front. And that right there is bad news bears for the field, because earlier in the first 50 laps, we saw him dominate this race and really put on a clinic. And right now, as we cross the line for 151, will we see Dalton Tucker dominate the second half of this race? Oh no, but a caution flag is out. In the 0-2 of Anthony Hutchinson. Wrecks pretty big right there, coming out of turn 4. Potentially involving Brandon Barrier as well, but that's a big wreck for the 0-2, and that will change a lot. And I'll explain why in just a second, but look at this. Brandon Barrier. And Hutchinson. Whoa! Turns left way before the turn there. Let's ride on board a little bit further back and see if we can find out. Did something break in that car, or... It'll be next time by. We'll give it just a second. We're going to see a lot of these leaders come down pit road, but I want to show you this first. Comes down into turn 2. That car looks pretty tight. You can see that wheel barely even moving. But here we go. Let's take a look here. Comes out backstretch. Wow. Ugh, that's a bad look right there. I'm not really sure what happened, but man, kind of just turned it into the wall. Not sure what was going on there, if the steering just kind of went or whatnot, but that was definitely an unfortunate occurrence. But here we go, pit road right now. This should be the last pit stop for these drivers, so this is the money stop right here. You cannot mess this up. 4 tires potentially, fuel. And here we go, Dalton Tucker gonna get that spot right there. Dakota Long in a gaggle of cars. Look at that fight right there, Dingler. So right now, folks, lap 153. And all these lead lap cars came down pit road. A long way to go here still. 47 laps to go. About 45 once we go back green. So right now, interestingly enough, Mario Miranda, Isaac Mock, and Brandon Niskanian all chose to stay out. It's a very, very interesting call here. Potentially, Mario might want the clean air, and maybe he thinks he has enough. We'll see how this works out, or maybe he thinks we'll get more yellows. But strategy calls all over the track. Let's real quick, folks, go and thank some sponsors. We'll come right back at Dover. All right, folks, here we go. We are back here for the No Limit Racing at Dover. Lap 155, our 12th caution of the day. Pretty eventful for sure. Mario Miranda, Isaac Mock will be your front row here for the restart of the race. This is going to get pretty wild here. We've seen some pretty wild racing nonetheless right now, but a lot can happen here. Big thanks to all the sponsors here for No Limit Racing: IMB, Racewear, Butt Kicker, and then our great sponsors for race day right now, Admin Box and HarpoonDesign.com. Go and check all those guys out on social media and their websites. But here we go. Going back green here on lap 156. Let's get it back going here. Green flag is back out. And a great start for Mario Miranda. Has that great restart right there, but look at this. Almost 3 wide here for a top 5. Not quite though, they figure it out. Good stuff right now. Gotta be careful, 3 wide, here we go. Can they make that work? The 16 of Dingler. Didn't quite have the best pit stop, but right here makes his way back around to the high side. Impressive stuff. Christopher Tate works the outside lane around Isaac Mock and makes it work there. Power move. Dalton Tucker is right on the back with the 29. Dakota Long involved here with the 41. of Matt Lovett. Oh man, he was sideways there for a bit, and that triggered the yellow flag. Both kept it going, but yeah, when you go sideways like that, that will trigger the yellow. And man, led so many laps, middle part of the race, and unfortunately got mired back just a little bit after pit stops right there, and unfortunately pretty well hurt at this point. Let's go back once more and take a look. Here we go. So Dakota Long down low and Matt Lovett on the outside lane. Dingler right behind. Oh, the 29, man. Long just gets real loose, overcorrects it just a little bit, and into that wall across the stripe there. And that'll bring out another caution for today. Tough break right there. Miranda going to come down pit road. Smart move for him, obviously. He knew that Dalton and Chris Tate and those guys are going to be much faster, but Miranda going to come down pit road, get those 4 tires now and the fuel. This will be interesting because there weren't many laps run right there under green, obviously, just a couple. So Miranda will have fresher tires, but will it matter a whole lot? It's tough to say, right? Because it just comes down to, you know, can he get through the field? And obviously he's going to burn through, you know, more tire racing through the field. So interesting call here why he didn't pit a little earlier, but at the end of the day, he does guarantee that 1 extra point at a minimum for pitting early. So not too bad right there. Let's take a quick break for just a second. We'll come back and go race day nonstop, and we'll come back green in just a second, folks.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Alrighty, folks, we are back to Dover right now. Apologize for those technical difficulties. We were supposed to come back right there for the pit stops and whatnot, but iRacing didn't like us real quick, kicked us out. But we are back and better as ever right now. But green flag is back out for the restart. Here we go. Dalton Tucker, Christopher Tate up at the front. Big run right here. Chris Tate up at the front on the outside lane. And a great move right there to make that work. Takes the lead over, and Brian Ruzzi goes around for our 15th caution of the day. Don't see a lot of damage though to that car, so that's the good. Oh, maybe the back, the right rear, but overall not too bad for that Liberty paintball machine right there. Let's go back and take a look real quick. Oh man, so Ruzzi goes over the 80 right there of Austin Cooper. Some pretty severe netcode too. If you don't know what netcode is, let me show you. So netcode is basically the simulation thinking that a car is somewhere where it isn't. And right here, you see how they're together right there, but there's a space in between. That's just good old internet right there for you. Sometimes different pings and different situations like that, latency and whatnot, it'll cause a situation like this where it thinks, the 80 might be a little higher or the 50 a little lower, and it just causes a mess right there. So it basically thinks the car is wider than it actually is, more or less, and that causes a big wreck like that. So unfortunate though for the 50, obviously, but doesn't look too bad. So we'll definitely be able to continue, and looking pretty solid nonetheless. So not too bad right there. But Christopher Tate gets that lead back to 94. And we talked about him a little earlier, how good he was, how close he was to winning in Darlington, a couple races back. But right here, that 94 looking pretty strong. And he made the move around Dalton Tucker right there, and that's pretty impressive because we know how dominant Tucker has been these last few weeks. So very, very strong right there for him. But working our 15th caution, we're 45 laps away from deciding this race. So pretty cool stuff here, nonetheless. Folks, we'll come right back in just a second. We'll thank a couple more sponsors. That'll also give us some time to fix a couple more technical issues on our ends so that your experience here for the end of this race is nothing but good stuff and high vibes. So we'll come right back, folks, at Dover. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to No Limit Racing here in Dover. Lap 166, working our 15th caution of the day. Tell you what, Dover, the Monster Mile, has definitely struck today, for sure. Crazy racing, and obviously some pretty intense situations and moments here, but we're going to find out how this race ends. We are winding down to it. We had a great start to the race. The first 50 laps or so, all green flag, dominated by Dalton Tucker, and ever since then really has gotten pretty chaotic. A lot of wrecks, a lot of yellows, A lot of mistakes on track, but I think right now we're going to start to figure it out. Pace car lights are off. 33 laps to go here in this race. Bunch of guys still in that front row, but look at this, Dakota Long, even after that wreck a couple laps ago, still right there on the inside lane in P4. Very impressive. Dingler in P3 has been stout today. Lodison in P5 has come back from a couple of wrecks. Tell you what, a lot can happen here. Will we get a first-time winner this season? We're going to find out momentarily. Here we go. Green flag is out. And off we go, back in Dover. Solid job right here. Christopher Tate up at the front. Ryan Dingler. A lot of these guys very, very strong. Dalton Tucker right there as well. But further on back, some big racing. Look at this. The 55 of Joel Hamilton, he was pretty well wrecked earlier on. And right now, very impressive to still be in that top 10. Dingler, though, at the front of the field. Look at this power move here down low. Couldn't quite get it right there, but it is go time now. 30 laps to go here at the line. Dalton Tucker, Dakota Long. This top four has looked so good all race long today. And there's the 11 right here, Robert Kahn. Some great racing in the back too. Look at these guys, the 44, the 30. Brendan Van Affel, unfortunately, involved in wrecks earlier on in the race. Looking pretty solid here, but Christopher Tate still has the best view of the track in that P1 spot. Let's take a look riding on board right here. You can see him using that low lane. These tires still feel pretty fresh. Extremely quick, chooses to use the outside lane here and then dives it down low. I talked about it earlier. It's a perfect line right there. You straighten out the corner in the exit of turn 2. Really reduces the traction loss. In P2 is the shakeup here. Dalton Tucker going to make a move. Down low, Matt Cherry in the background too, making a move here for top 5. Up against Correa, makes it work. And Tucker in turn 2. Springboards past Ryan Dingler. Dakota Long on the outside, trying to make it work as well. It has a pretty well beat up right front. Might have some aero loss there, but still looks pretty quick. Single file throughout the top 15, which are on the lead lap right now. Your top 15. Brandon Munger right now is 2 laps down, so he would be the free pass car, but he still wouldn't get his lap back. He'd still be 1 lap down at that point, but everyone else passed him at least 2 laps down, so rough race for everyone 16th on back. But Christopher Tate, as the sun comes out a bit more, 25 laps remaining here for that 94, has looked so good this season. Was added late into the roster, and Darlington, I believe, was his first outing, and he looked extremely good, very, very fast. Unfortunately, though, lost to Mario Miranda. But today in Dover has looked extremely quick and has worked tirelessly to get himself back into that top spot. These are his first lap sled of the day. And you can tell he put the work in because he is looking very, very good right now. Second spot, though, still under huge contention. Tucker, Long, and Dingler all fighting for it. Great racing so far, 23 laps to go right now. Matthew Correa, Sean Lodison. Right now, P7 and 8 looking pretty good. Austin Cooper, up and down day for him today, but in P10, Isaac Mock in 11th. Great camera angles all around the track today. Brandon Ishkani in P12, Joel Hamilton rounding off in 13th spot. Brian Ruzzi, even after that wreck right there, still maintained the lead lap, so a great move for him. And then Matthew Taylor in P15. Again, another up and down day, but these guys have still maintained keeping that lead lap, and that is so key to keeping a good finish together. You know, sometimes a championship winning season, you know, comes down to races like this, right? Where maybe it's not the cleanest thing in the world and not necessarily, you know, green flag racing the entire time, but sometimes you have to make bad days, you know, kind of decent by, you know, fixing the damage throughout the race and just kind of, you know, kind of getting through that endurance and that attrition factor, right? Just getting through the race, putting yourself in position late in the race to make it happen. And so far, a lot of these guys making that work. Isaac Mock right here, Austin Cooper, side by side. This is for P10. Awesome job right now. Who else? Look at this. Chris Tate up at the front. And you can see right behind him, Tucker, Long, and Dingler all right behind him. And then it's quite a while back for Matt Cherry, about 2 seconds behind that. So right now, very, very quick. Who's that off track right there? We saw somebody way slow. Couldn't quite see it, unfortunately, but looks like they were coming off pit road. But that gap is closing. Dalton Tucker, 0.3 of a second back right now. 17 laps to go. This is that green flag run, the late green flag run we thought we might see. Right now is there. Dalton Tucker looking very, very quick. Let's ride on board here. Dalton Tucker. Again, Darlington looked so fast. Couldn't quite make it happen. Last week at Watkins Glen was definitely the dominant car, but look at this. Tucker right now. Ooh, Tate, big wiggle right there to turn 4. And Tucker is there, hits him right there entering turn 1. Gonna send him up the hill. And that'll be it right there. Christopher Tate to P2. Oh my word, it all went downhill there for Christopher Tate. That one wiggle was it. And he's still loose. Dirt tracking it around turn 4. Tires have gone away from him right there, but Dalton Tucker has found himself in a familiar spot, man, right there in P1. You saw how fast he was, how dominant he was in that first 50 laps here. And then, man, oh man, right now, had to go through all kinds of adversity and wrecks and pit stops and middle of the pack. And right now, hard charges his way back up to the front of the field in P1. 12 laps away from breaking through into the win column. Dakota Long way off track right there, got loose. It looks like potentially 2 hits the apron. And then way off track right there. You can tell these guys use up all their rubber right now because they are all over the place. Dingler might get a shot here for P3. He is right there, not going to give him a little bump just yet. And there it is, into that 3rd spot. A little bit back here, Casey Knight and Robert Kahn fighting for it. This is for a top 7 spot right here. 10 laps remaining. Who can hold on? Can you make the tires last this long? And a great job there for the 14. Robert Kahn had, again, up and down Dave. Most of these drivers, ooh, huge hit for Correa in the 17. That'll allow the 14 to go down here, down low. Tough break right there, man. But a good move for that 14. A little further on back, Isaac Mock. A pretty quiet day overall, but right now in P8. Not a bad run. Again, we've talked about it before, right? Sometimes if we don't talk about drivers a lot in a race, that's because they're just kind of quietly having a good race. And this is one of those guys today that is having it, right? Not really involved in any wrecks. Has kind of been in that top 10 the entire time, and just a really solid effort. On track right now, everybody pretty much single file, no battles on track. Things have finally kind of calmed down here as we approach 7 laps to go. Dalton Tucker, though, out to a 2-second lead. And this looks like the Dalton Tucker that we saw earlier in the race. Dakota Long here comes down onto pit road. Interesting call here, way late. 6 to go. Oh no, just toes it. Oh man, what happened there? Go back if we can real fast just to see if we can find out what happened. Man, oh man, just comes down pit road and that was it. Not quite sure what happened there. We'll have to wait for race control potentially to tell us what happened, but man, a great race for him so far, and had to pull off unfortunately, but Christopher Tate gonna get passed here by Dingler, and there he goes. An awesome run here for Ryan Dingler. Ooh, gonna get caught up here. Robert Kahn up to 3rd spot. Look at Robert Kahn go. He is flying right now in that 14. Unbelievable. Side of the car has some wings on it. Mobile 1 wings, and I'll tell you what, he is going to fight for this P2 spot right here. Where did Robert Kahn come from? Saved his tires. Oh no, huge move right there. Dingler checked up, and that killed the 14. We're going to keep it right here, folks. This is the battle we want to watch. Dalton Tucker out in front by a mile. The top 3 right now is up for grabs. Dingler in that P2 spot. Christopher Tate is out of it. 2 laps to go here. That 14 comes back down. Going to get a great run here down low. And there he goes. Can't quite clear him yet, but he'll set him up for turns 3 and 4 as we approach the white flag lap. Here we go. The 14 dives down low. Robert Kahn can't quite make it happen. Dalton Tucker takes the white flag here at Dover for No Limit Racing. This battle's still raging right here as we come across the white flag lap, though. Dalton Tucker has done everything right today. A great first part of the race, a pretty hectic middle race, and the best kind of finish you can have. Dalton Tucker's the winner today for No Limit Racing at Dover. In P2 and 3 is a side-by-side battle drag race. Dingler will get it. And Robert Kahn, P3. Unbelievable job there. And a great fight for that podium spot. Christopher Tate, P4. Casey Knighton, a great run for P5. And rounding out your top 10, Correa, Mock, Lodison, Ishkanian, and Matt Cherry. Very, very good job right there. But Dalton Tucker, he's the one that gets it done today. Whoa, big bump right there from Dingler. Not sure if that was a congratulations or some post-race dramatics, but look at this. Gonna burn it down for Dalton Tucker. There he is, folks, your winner today at Dover. Dalton Tucker finally gets it done. We're going to talk to him and your top three of Ryan Dingler and Robert Kahn in just a second. We'll come back and talk to a few sponsors real quick and thank them. We'll come right back, folks. All right, folks, welcome back to No Limit Racing here at Dover. And right now we're going to bring in your top three, starting first with your third place finisher, Robert Kahn. Let's bring him in and talk to him real quick. Here he is, Robert Kahn in that 14. Looked so good late in the race. Had crazy good tires right there in that 14, man. Great run, podium spot. How's it feel, dude?
Feels good, man. I just wanted to see a long run. I was on the same tire schedule as as everybody else. This track I just find it pretty easy to save tire, and I just needed a 50-60 lap run, man. So I'm just happy that I got a top three. I think I restarted 14th there on that last restart, so I was happy to get that.
Yeah, it looked really solid, man. Thought you had a P2 there for a second before Dingler checked up there in turn 4, but either way, awesome run. Hey, give us real quick your shout-outs. Have any sponsors and friends and family you want to give out shout-outs to?
I'll just give a shout-out to this league, man. It's been really fun so far. Last week at Watkins Glen, this week at out there. I really enjoy it, so I appreciate all the admins that put on a good show. So.
Yes, sir, man. Awesome job again. We'll see you next week. Congrats on the P3.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
There he is, Robert Kahn, P3. Great job for him today. Ryan Dingler will bring in next in the number 16 Hex Armor Machine. Very cool looking paint scheme, I'll tell you what. Love that. Let's get him in if you can find him. Let's just track him down real fast. Sometimes these guys can be in any kind of situation here. Here we go. There he is, Ryan Dingler here in the booth. Man, looking pretty good today in P2. Had a great looking car. Really fast car as well. How's that P2 feel, man?
It feels pretty good after last week's debacle.
It sure does, man. A great looking paint scheme, 2 Hex Armor. Looking pretty good. I mean, how'd the track go? Obviously, a lot of caution flags today and had to save tires and whatnot. How'd it go from your end?
It went pretty good. I mean, I didn't think too much about it when I first started, but I was able to save tires pretty well, but it kind of sacrificed my overall speed, so some of the other guys were a little faster, but I had a pretty good long run car, but we couldn't get the long run, so, you know, I might have had something for Dalton if we got a caution at the end where I could get some new tires, because I still had a set left, so that would have been, nice. You know, something that was nice, but, I mean, it was really loose coming out of the corners. Mid-corner was pretty loose, but if you took care of your stuff, it wasn't terribly bad.
Yes, sir, man. Awesome job today. That win's coming for sure. But hey, give us real quick your shout-outs. Any sponsors, friends and family? What do you have for us?
Just guys that's not racing here with us. Buddies of mine, Holden and Grant, Moose, which you don't know who they are, but anyway. Matt and the gang were hanging out in the Discord. It was a pretty good time. You guys for putting on a good show, and the guys putting on the league. You know, it's pretty fun. Get rid of the cautions.
Yes, sir. Do agree. All right. Good job, man. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, Ryan Dingler. But right now, we're going to bring in your winner today, Dalton Tucker, the winner of today's No Limit Racing race here at Dover. finally breaks through, and let's bring him in right here. There he is, Dalton Tucker, same last name, love to see that. And right now, breaks through with the win column here at Dover, man. Looked so good the first 50 or so laps in the race. Had a pretty chaotic middle 100 laps, and then that last 50 looked pretty stout again, man. How'd you do it?
Oh yeah, that was, if there was a roller coaster of a race, that was definitely it. I'm not sure what happened on that restart when I gave up the lead. I'm not sure if I spun, he spun, but somehow we kind of got hooked. And once I gave up the lead, it was downhill at that point. Racing a team like I was with, I think there's about 4 or 5 of them in there. Those restarts are hard when they're able to count it down and kind of take advantage of it, but that's hats off to them. They put themselves in a position like that to be able to do it. And after that, it was just, I got caught up in a couple wrecks, had over a minute of damage 2 different times. It was a blessing just to get back up there. I knew at the end when I pitted that I had something, and if it could just go green, I had good long run speed. I was kind of saving on the short run, but I could still kind of hang with them, and it all worked out. And I'm not sure what happened to them, but they dropped pretty quick, and we were able to kind of separate.
Yes, sir. Definitely a very impressive performance today. Came back from a lot and got that W, so very cool stuff, man. Hey, give us real quick your shout-outs to any sponsors or friends and family. What do you have for us?
As always, shout out to Capital for being on the car. Been with them for going on 12 years now, a great company. We're all over the Southeast, so hats off to them. Definitely give a shout out to my friends and family watching, mainly my family. They always tune in, and they usually pick at me the next day if I don't win, so I'm glad I was able to pull this one out for them. Shout out to my team. I guess we're on a team at DHR, me, Brian, and Casey. Kind of some run-ins, but we had overall a good race. And obviously a shout out to you. You don't get a broadcaster with the same last name too often.
Yes, sir, man. Love to hear that. Hey, great job. Great win, obviously. We'll see you next week at Nashville.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty, folks, there he is. Dalton Tucker, your winner today. And man, what a performance today on the day. Finally breaks through. Very, very impressive performance. There's the field and the results on the left side of your screen in the tower here at Dover. Big thanks to you folks for being here, for tuning in, for liking the stream, for subscribing to the channel. A lot of cool things coming our way here on race day, and you're all going to be a part of it. And quite frankly, you're the reason for making it this big, so appreciate you folks for doing that. Join us on Monday for the NORA Truck Series at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, p.m. From Kansas. And then join us on Tuesday for the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series at Talladega. That for them is the regular season finale, and a lot of drivers are trying to sneak their way into the playoffs by winning. So do not miss that race at a minimum. But today for No Limit Racing in the Extreme Graphics Next Gen Series, this is Steve. We are on race day. Big thanks to you folks. Catch you next week. Have a good night.